Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Ben from Universal Audio, and welcome to another installment of Tales from the Switch. If you guys have been following along, we are creating a song from scratch, 100% remote, and this has been a really cool look. And we're all getting to be flies on the wall to see what an actual recording and production session is, how to coach artists, how to kind of make things happen from none other than the one and only Fab Dupont. How you doing today?
I'm good.
How was your vacation, sir?
It was bananas. It was absolutely bananas. There was no texting, except with you. There was no email.
Uh-huh.
There were no Slacks. There were no Zooms. There was no Zooms. There were no FaceTimes. There was none of that crap. It
Nice.
was absolutely zilch. And there was no restaurants because they're closed. There's nothing. All there was like, wake up, do nothing, go to bed.
Repeat.
Nice. Yeah, wash and repeat. I did wash and repeat, and that's it.
That's
Did you
amazing.
just stay in New York for this?
No, I did all this in California.
Okay, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So no, because if I stayed here, because as you may notice, I'm back up.
I can see.
If I stayed here, I'd be under the desk, or we're redoing the room. So the only way to be able to do that is to leave and not take a computer, not take an iPad, and turn your phone off. That's the way I did it.
Crazy, man.
I had peer pressure from someone.
From a peer.
Yeah, from a peer. Otherwise, there's no way I could have done it. But it's nice. Gives you perspective.
Totally. Well, and so we're also, if you guys have been watching along, you'll notice a familiar face is back. Will Knox is joining us again today. How you doing, Will?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Good to be back.
Yeah,
as you can tell, Will has also changed environment. He's no longer in England. He is in Haarlem, Netherlands.
Back to the Netherlands. Yeah, exactly. Good to be home.
Okay.
Nice. And of course, Louis, you back. How's your week been?
It's been all right. Actually, starting this week starts a hiatus from late show world. So I'm looking forward to things like sleep and not looking at my screen for 14 hours a day.
Hey, wait. You have a hiatus from the late night show?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to make music.
Yeah, I told you this.
That's awesome. No, but that was anything you told me before the vacation, I forget.
Yeah. It was a different time back then.
I have no idea what you talked about. I don't know what we talked about. Forget it. This is awesome. All right. Yeah. Very nice.
So, so Fab, what do we got on the plate for today to keep the song moving forward?
So where we left it is last time is we recorded a bunch of vocals from Louis, and I was going to comp it offline, and then the idea was floated that no, we should keep this real and actually do everything on camera.
Yeah.
And so this is the part then that I find really educational, because I think there's comping vocals. Watching someone comp vocals is a little bit like watching paint dry, with a little louder, but it's about the same vibe. So we'll see your level of patience, people. You want to see how it's really done? This is how it's really done.
Yeah.
We have sayings in French that I can't probably say. I mean, I can say it in French. Enculez les mouches. Look it up. I can't. It's just not. There's children watching. I can't do this. It is a process. So I'm going to share my screen.
Cool.
And so there's a few interesting things. First, I tend to not comp vocals with the artist in the room, because that drastically slows the process down. Not you, Louis, of course, never. But
dude, I've taken about 3 years off of my life comping vocals myself. So
yeah. So the thing with comping vocals is that it's not an absolute. There's no absolute, right? It's really a taste-driven thing. So now we have 3 people here. We have Louis, who's the featured vocalist and artist, and then we have Will, who's the co-writer and also has the benefit of distance, because he hasn't been in the beginning of the session. By the way, this is what, episode 5 or 6? 5.
Yeah, I lost count.
Yeah, 5. 5, which means that in real life, for people, the way we work usually, this would be mid-afternoon to late afternoon, right? We would be probably by the late afternoon would be at this point of the process. At this point, we would break for lunch. Probably like 4 p.m. break for lunch.
Yep.
And then just clear our minds, and then come back and listen to it. So now we're going to listen to these vocals. Every take is bananas, as if you remember. Every take is great.
Yep.
So what are we looking for? So we're looking for, like, it's not like we have pitch issues or pocket issues. It's just great performance all around. So I could take whatever the last take was and send it to Spotify, and everybody would be delighted. You know, that's not the point. We're trying to elevate and to squeeze the most meaning possible out of the lyrics and the most amount of vibe and stuff like that. And so it really depends on whatever you have for breakfast that morning. Apparently an apple for Louis. Me, nothing yet. Just a lot of this. So it really is a point of view. So you're in a room right now with 4 people, and everybody's going to feel it differently. So, but I'm the producer, and I have this device, which puts me in charge. I'm special.
Yeah.
So the way I usually do this is to avoid any kind of pain is I do it this way. Watch. First, I like to locate myself into the song and reconnect with the song. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to listen to like because we also have to do this in a timely manner. I'm not going to listen to the whole song. Actually, you know what? I'm going to listen to the whole song so that everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that. Yeah. Level.
Just because, well, I was going to say like overall arc is a big part of this shit too.
Yes, it is. So I am going to listen to, full disclosure, I did do a little something this morning. Is on the acoustic guitar, I inserted a spectral denoiser so that we didn't have to listen to Louis's fans as much. I love your fans. They sound great, but that wasn't the vision for this track. So we're just gonna remove
That's right.
them.
We didn't turn off the fans until vocal land.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
Yeah. And the reason for that is I hear more Zoom noise.
Yeah.
Than you can imagine. So I didn't hear the fans because all I hear is Zoom going.
Oh wow.
So as you can see here, I have, besides that, it's all the same. Haven't changed nothing. And you can see here all the takes from V1, and I'm using my the arrow key. And you can see we have 18 takes. But as you can see, for example, take 18, everything through the second chorus is the same as take 17. Mm-hmm. This is just punches we did at the end. Okay? Because if you remember, Louis was doing different kinds of like vibe for the end. So I find it always healthy to listen to where we left off, as opposed to, you can't, basically, if you decide to listen to everything, the last 2 hours of your life have gone and you have no perspective. So the comping vocals is really an exercise in minimalism, as far as I'm concerned. So let's listen to where we left it off all the way to the end, and then let's just comp the vocals. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures. And every man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb. Keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. It can't be comfortable. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering to serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Every man needs an element, a fear that he may lose control. To keep the heart sacred, escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. Woo. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
All right, that is
Hell yeah.
absolutely wonderful. Okay, great. So I know where I am. I think it's awesome, but I remember from the takes that there's moments that are more. First, everybody can hear everything, right? There's no problems. We're good.
Yep.
Okay. I lowered
fixed
the.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I lowered the chorus acoustic guitars. They were too loud. They were in the way of focusing on the vocal. So this is bananas. The ending is partially off the charts. There's a lot of beautiful moments, but I feel that I remember from the takes that there were moments that were more personal and more present. So I see here something called "is nice." So I don't know.
This is why it's important. This is why it's important to name your not only name your tracks, but name your takes.
Yeah. This one's called Badass. This one's called Badass also. So that's nice. This one's called Post Back Takes. So if you remember, we did background vocals at the end. And so that Louis could fly over himself on the background vocals. I love it when this comes in here. This moment here is dope. Let's just go back.
Where the trio comes in.
And happiness is left her footprints in the sand. Suffering is a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
That's really, really, really dope.
Yeah.
The thing that's the problem with this is that I basically don't hear any stereo because you're so fucking in tune that it's actually like in the middle. It's just really annoying, dude.
God, Louis, why do you got to be so tight?
in tune? So we shall probably have Will to get a little more width, have a different vocal. Maybe we'll have Will.
I can be out of tune, don't worry.
Thanks, Will. Finally, somebody who understands.
No, you can't.
That's what we've been
Or I
looking for
could-
this whole time.
Maybe what I should maybe
Records.
maybe I should sing. That'll probably extra width.
There we go.
So let's see. So let's listen to. So now I'm gonna, instead of doing the whole arc of things, I understand the arc of things. Now I'm back into the song, right? So we have this like fairly intimate, introspective verse, and then we have a more soaring chorus, and then at the end it just like goes into that the soul thing. I think that I'd like to have even more closeness on the verse, at least the first verse. So let's listen to a couple things. So listen to the one called "Is Nice," and instead of listening to the whole song, I'm going to focus on the first verse now.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
I heard it twice, so Thanks for muting. Well, let's do that again.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
All right, that's cool. It's very good. Listen to V9.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
Let's listen to 10.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
I remember something where I was like, oh, this is so good. Let's see.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
Ooh, I like that. That short cross there.
A desert that he cannot cross.
That's better because when you sing cross longer, I'm not as in love with it. That I like that vibe. Let's listen to the first take after background vocals.
Every man needs a nemesis.
Ooh, I like needs here.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
Okay. And then after that, we go into this take. That's the same one.
Every man needs a nemesis.
Okay, same take. Let's listen to V7 just to make sure.
Every man needs a nemesis.
Oh.
A desert that he cannot cross.
Ooh, that's the one. I like this a lot.
What's that?
Check it out. I like this because of the presence, the intention that he puts on Nemesis, and the fact that cross is not sung, it's basically shared. You know what I mean?
Every man
Yeah,
needs.
man.
Every man needs a nemesis.
Oh.
A desert that he cannot cross.
Woo! Chills. Chills are good in this case, you know, and it's warm here. So it's not, you know. All right, so I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna make a new playlist, which I shall call, I'm gonna name it Comp. You know.
How original.
And yeah, I'm a professional. And then I'm gonna take these two guys, copy, arrow, shift arrow, and paste.
Oh,
and I
you
didn't
went-
go. I went too far. Tends to happen to me. All right, so we have the beginning of our verse. Let's see if Louis stayed in the same vibe.
To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
All right, so the soul under is great. The soul part is great. The second part less so great.
Keep the soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Not as good. It's great, of course, Louis, but not as good as the other one.
To keep the soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Tough one. Let's hear this again. 7.
Keep the soul in wonder.
That's the record. That is absolutely off the charts. Amazing. Oh la la. See, I go too far.
You can always, you could just go down. It'd be less
I
clicks
could
to
go
go
down.
downwards.
Yeah. My poor French brain cannot think that way. The only way is up, baby.
Soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vulture.
I think we have better than that. Let's see. Do that. Here.
Soul in wonder. The belly.
Louis.
I was gonna say whatever that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I was gonna say whatever that last one was had a little vibe.
Yeah. I think
On the hunger line.
yeah, exactly.
Soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
So that was V9. It's V9 you're talking about. This guy.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
That's nice. And plus, there's a little thing at the end. But let's see.
Let's see.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
I like the short vultures here. But okay,
Yeah,
so V9.
me
V9.
too.
Okay.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
And then 13.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Okay, so I propose to the current assembly a healthy mix of V9, this part, and I believe it was this one.
Have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Yeah, that. Let's see how that feels. Probably adjust this here. You know, let's not do the Jennifer Lopez thing and cut syllables out. Let's just like keep it to words.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Okay, so this one here. So one of the ways to make sure you're not fooling yourself is to not look at the screen when you play the comp. Because if you look at the screen when you play the comp, you know where the cuts are. And your eyes are going to deceive you. So I never look at the screen when I play back. And this, to me, felt under.
To keep the soul in wonder.
So either it's a level thing, so I'm going to raise the level a little bit and play it again. Or it's just the wrong part.
A desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have.
So I propose, I could technical term fuck with it, but I think that we should either look at what's connected to this.
To keep the soul in wonder.
Not as cool. And then go back to another one. Let's see if we can find something cool.
Keep the soul in wonder.
I think that's the one we took.
Keep the soul in wonder.
Oh, which one did we take? I think 7 is going to work. Let's try that. That would be a logical follow-up.
A desert that
One
he.
second.
I think that was the one you had.
Is it? Yes. So I really like that one apparently. But in series,
To keep the soul in wonder.
that's the one.
To keep the soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
So maybe we do this. How does this feel?
He cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vulture.
No. Okay, so let's see. Is it really a problem?
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross.
Oh, that's good.
To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
I think my problem. Here's my
I feel
problem.
like-
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Shoot.
I was gonna say the belly must have hunger line is like a little lackadaisical.
Yeah. So let's.
I feel like
let's-
there's a better one in there somewhere.
yes, there is. Hold on one second.
Bless you.
I'm allergic to rock wool, and there's about, I don't know, 28 panels open face in this room. So I shall sneeze. Yeah, it's joy. It's called joy. Hold on one second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The belly must have hunger.
It's my life. It's my life.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vulture. The belly must have hunger.
Yeah, that's not as strong. How about this?
The belly must have hunger.
No, 313.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vulture.
11.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vulture.
It's hard to say. Whoever wrote those lyrics, good.
The belly must have hunger. The belly must have hunger. He needs the
Do you
vulture.
think he could support a more intimate version?
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
I don't know. 9.
The belly must have hunger.
Woo. That's the one you liked, boss. Let's see.
Yeah.
That's the one we picked.
The belly must have hunger.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
But
go
why
back.
is it, why is it stopping in the middle of like?
Because I have because of this. It's,
Itchy trigger finger.
I'm a trigger happy. Let's go back. Let's go back into the vault. In this case, let's go back into the vault from the original impression. So let's start. Let's go down the memory lane. Let's go 6.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
That's good. 5. It's the same. 4.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
And then there's take 1. Before take 1, we were screwing with the tone.
The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
That's nice.
That's intimate.
Yeah. Let's see if I can make it feel like it's the same record.
Right.
To keep the soul in wonder. The belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
Oh, it's nice and laid back.
Yeah.
I dig that. How do you guys feel? I see Will nodding forward. Will is muted. Can you
Will's
unmute
still
yourself, Will? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Man, many words.
Okay, great. So so we have ourselves, I think we have ourselves a first verse. Let's let it be and move on to the second verse. So our core take is 7. So let's just go back to 7 and see if 7 is still our core take for the second verse.
And every man needs an Everest,
Nice.
a mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable.
Woo, that is dope. I really like this part.
The hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable.
Like the perfect sync with the. I'm gonna go on a limb and say this is gonna be our record, at least this phrase for sure. Let's listen to the one that says "is nice."
And every man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
That's really good too. Usually,
I really side
Yeah.
note. I every time I sing that lyric, it very much invokes the spirit of Will Knox to me. Like I feel like I'm almost even like impersonating when you wrote that lyric and sent the demo. And like every time I hear it, still it's like I'm trying to do the Will Knox at a half rate budget Will Knox.
you know what would be cool is if
I'm almost even saying like can't. It can't.
I
be
can't.
comfortable.
Hey, careful how you say that, Lewis.
all right. Any questions from anyone?
Not so far. There's yeah, man, it's really cool to see. Like, I mean, it's basically a jigsaw puzzle without a front cover to reference to know what it's supposed to be, right?
It's exactly what it is. So, how many people have dropped off of boredom yet?
It's going up.
Okay.
More and more people are tuning in to see that, because it's a good drama as well. You don't know how is it gonna work out in the end. Like,
You don't know.
are we gonna
It
save
may,
the world?
it
Or?
may not. It may not work out. Sometimes we
not.
comp and we listen to it and we're like, "You feel like singing today?" You know, it's just like a non-negligible amount of the time. We're like, "Fuck, get it! It's amazing! It's amazing! Let me comp it."
Mhm.
Comp it. 3 years later, it's like,
Hmm.
"How's your voice? How's your voice?
Yeah.
yeah.
Would you like
Yeah.
some throat coat tea?"
Right.
Uh,
Cola, perhaps.
All the subtle suggestions.
You like throat coat tea?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's listen to the second verse version. Badass.
And every man needs an Everest.
That is dope.
And every man needs an Everest.
Oh,
A mountain that he cannot climb.
I like that.
To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
okay. So temporarily, because I've done this before and I have a feeling, I'm just gonna do this. That doesn't mean that it's the final, but let's just say that it's there in case we would like to listen to it in continuity. Let's listen to Badass also.
And every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
It's cool. Post back
It's
takes.
cool. It seems like more strong, less intimate.
Yeah, exactly. And also, let's. I hear the lyric less. I hear you sing more, but lyric less.
I agree.
Every man, and every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he cannot climb.
Ooh, let me hear that again.
Mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
Okay, 13.
Every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he cannot climb.
That is dope, eh?
He
That's cool.
cannot climb.
It's different.
To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
All right, so let's just for entertainment listen to what we have on the con, just because we can.
And every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
All right, that is dope. I have
Yeah,
a
I don't
suggestion.
know that. Go ahead.
After you, my friend. It's your record.
I was just gonna say I don't know that I no, not at all. I was gonna say I don't know that I that the lyrics stick any more to me in any of the other ones than they do on this little bit here, on this phrase at least.
How about this one?
A mountain that he cannot climb. A mountain
No.
that he.
The mountain part, I really dig how you say that. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I dig
Okay.
it.
Okay, so check this out. If we do this,
There's one. Okay, go ahead.
and yeah,
Yes.
just let me finish that, and then we can update.
Cannot climb.
No.
Cannot climb.
Woo! You know what, Louis? You should really consider a career. I mean, I see a future there. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's see this.
A mountain that he cannot
No,
climb.
the keys doesn't belong.
A mountain that he cannot climb.
Okay,
To keep
in
the
context.
hunger, he needs the vultures. And every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. He can't be comfortable.
Is nice. Can we listen to verse 1 and 2?
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures. And every man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable.
I think that feels like a record to me. It feels really
Feels good.
right now. Yeah, I think it feels good right now. And I'm really hearing the lyric, which is key. Let's go to the chorus.
Happiness has left her footprints in the
Let me
sand.
mute those guitars that are painted about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to the cue, so I have to put this all off free, and I should be able to hear better.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering to serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Okay, I hear a delay.
Oh, sorry, it's coming from Lewis's.
Louis,
Oh, sorry, I muted you, Lewis.
can you unmute yourself, Hughes? Okay.
Sorry,
Yes?
I put my headphone back over the thing, which puts it in the thing. I just gotta. It's my user error. I was gonna just say I love whenever Ben gets to moving. I know it's in a good spot.
Yeah. So I think this chorus is off the charts. We should listen to others, but I'm just going for precautionary measure. Just do this. So this was 18, which is the same as everything up until the Badass Also tape.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Cool. Badass.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Okay. This I like understand here.
Understand.
That's like the energy of that is really great. And then his nice take.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. And that's the curse of every man.
Okay. Let's listen to our potential call.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering to serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
All right. So this every man here is cool.
That's the curse of every man.
How do you feel about that, boss?
I like.
You like? We haven't listened to V7. Let's listen to V7.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand.
Oof.
Suffering you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Woo! I really like a lot of that. Especially that's the curse of every man.
That's the curse of every man.
There's a lot of intangibles in that. That's the curse.
Okay, so let's get that here, and then also the pickup. This thing.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand.
Oh, baby! Check out the comp.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand.
I think 7's better.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
so.
with it.
You with it? Okay, cool. Check it out. Let's see if it flows.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering to serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
I wonder if Yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder if the suffering phrase is
Yes.
if there's a better one of those.
There is. Check it out. It's I forget. I didn't take notes. Usually I take notes, but I'm doing too much at once right now. Check it out.
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
We know that understand is that's the one. So get that. And then there was the suffering.
Suffering serve a
That's not
purpose.
the one. Didn't sing it there. No plus. That's not comp. 7, 6.
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to.
5.
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to.
4. Quiet. 1.
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Suffering is great here, and I think it's going to comp. And let's listen to this.
Mm-hmm. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. And that's the curse of every man.
I'm just not sure about.
Purpose that I'm yet to understand. Suffering serve a purpose.
The purpose part. Let's see if this is better.
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Bananas. Would it be even better if we let you finish your thought?
Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
The change, you like this better? Yep, I thought so. Okay, cool. So now we have ourselves first chorus. Let's go back to the second. Let's go to verse 3. And let's
You're
listen.
gonna have to FYI, you know, there's a little pitchiness in there, but the energy I think is good.
Yes, yes.
Well, and so Fab, that's one of the questions kind of coming from the chat of, so when you're comping, kind of in the order of priorities, where does pitch usually land for you? Is it kind of a high
I do not
priority?
care.
You don't care.
Do not care. I don't care. Go listen to all our favorite records. First, listen to this. Yeah, if anybody in the audience can sing that in tunes, 18 texts in a row, send me a postcard. I want to work with you. Second, you don't need to send me a postcard, Will. I already have your contact. Second, it doesn't matter. Go listen to Aretha Franklin. Go listen to Stevie. Even Stevie, who, like, I can send you 18 examples of Stevie singing unbelievably sharp. And it doesn't matter. Because you're not going to listen. Nobody's going to listen to this and say, oh, everybody's going to go, oh, man, what he's talking about is really, really resonating with me.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. The rest, I don't care. And if for self-esteem purposes, one note is too far away from the pitch center for me or for Louis or for Will, then I'll go in and tune it.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is bananas, and but it's Louis's art. In this case, the singing part is his contribution to the art world, and he says, "I need it to be more blue, then I need to add more blue, but I will listen to it." I personally have this. I still have it in the back of my spine. I get physical pain when something's out of tune. It's really hard. Which is why I don't sing anymore. Right? Yeah. To avoid pain. So that's why I work with other people who can sing in tune. And so my spine is just fine right now. Yeah. So if we need to tune something, it's because somebody's level of pain threshold is lower than mine. Totally. That's it. Well, but this is 100% acceptable. It's more than acceptable. This is gorgeous. Performance.
Well, that's always the most important part to keep in mind when you comp things. Is like we're not trying to maximize accuracy here. We're trying to maximize like the message of the song, the performance, the the vibe and the intention that comes across. Like every so far, hopefully people are picking this up. But like every decision you guys are making for these lines, it's not necessarily a technique driven thing. It's not a pitch driven thing. It is solely does this make me feel something? Does this feel like it
Yeah.
connects with the thought before it? And is this
Yeah.
making the overall whole better than what one individual take could be?
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. At a certain level of proficiency, usually the parts, the takes that are not perfectly in tune, also the takes where the intention's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a phase thing, right? We in Zoom, we have like, Louis is wearing 2 pairs of headphones, one to be able to communicate, one to be able to listen to music. I am listening to everything when he was recording with a 1.5-second delay and literally a vacuum cleaner in the background going the whole time, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's slightly less than optimal situation, right?
Yeah.
So we can't have, it's impossible in this environment to have the same focus as if we were in the same room and be focused. And that's it's the waves of your brain. You can be super focused in the lyric of the song for X amount of time. The amount of time varies depending on the environment, what you had for breakfast, what your girlfriend told you last night, the amount of deaths per coronavirus per day in your region. So basically what happens is I listen to this and I hear like take 7 was a moment where Louis was very much in sync with a certain vibe of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Take 9, he was in sync with a different vibe of the song. And then maybe take 6, something went through his mind. He was not thinking about the song, but because he's a professional, he was able to deliver the song. But I don't hear the same connection as I did on the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when the thing is not as connected, the pitch is not as connected either. But I'll take any of this shit and put it out without tuning it, because it feels good. Again, go listen to the classic records we love, from the Beatles to name your classic record, and stuff is not perfectly into. I mean, up in pre-A, pre-auto-tune.
Mm-hmm.
Things not in tune. They and it doesn't matter. It's still classic.
Exactly.
I also think auto-tuning a vocal in front of a vocalist can give some serious insecurity complexes. It's not a nice thing to do to a vocalist. And so if you can avoid doing that.
Actually, I think that's one of the torture tools they use in Guantanamo. They would have the guys sing, and then they would auto-tune them in front of them.
Uh-huh.
Then they would play Barney, and that was like the ultimate offense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to tune in front of vocalists who are in pain. It's fun. It's like, yeah, you should come. I'm going to tune your vocals. Come hang.
Come hang out. Come watch the torture session.
How do you like this one? It's great. I like it.
Tuning cats.
It's like the guys who come in the morning said, vocal session planned for 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
Probably one day before the mix has to be turned in, and the vocalist comes in an hour late and says, I went out all night last night. I'm not feeling 100%,
Yeah.
I'm like, no problem, man. Let's do three takes, and then you hang with me for when I tune. It's going to be great.
Exactly.
Works every time.
Totally.
The following session, they sleep the night before. It's cool. So let's see. Verse 3 from our latest take.
Every man needs an element.
All right, let's consider this its own thing. I really like that break. Are we still in love with the fact that the music stops there and it's just, or is it me being cheesy?
Ben, you got to say something, Ben?
No, I'm always down for a break, but it's your guys' song.
He spent a lot of time with Ben. Spent a lot of time with me, so all my.
I know all the tricks.
What are you gonna say, Luis?
I was just gonna say I was actually just imagining that break about 5 minutes ago, and in my imagination, it's like I think it can totally work just with a little bit of
sauce,
embellish and a little sauce. Yeah,
I have an idea.
I don't know if it's like a like an echoplex, like putting in real quick
Yeah.
and like bring it back out, or
Yeah.
like maybe like a scoop
Yeah.
or like a
I have an idea. I have an idea.
Vera speed or I don't know.
Yeah, I have an idea. Which I'll run by you no later than very soon. But let's focus on the vocal.
Yeah.
And every man needs an element.
So that's take 18, and then all those takes are the same, and then we're going to badass also.
Every man needs an element. A fear that he may lose control.
Woo! Badass. So that was badass also. Let's see what badass holds.
Every man needs an element. A fear that he may lose control.
That's cool. 9, nothing. The E's nice one.
And every man needs an element.
Oh, strong.
A fear that
Like
he
both.
may lose control.
All right, and then V7.
Hey, that's cool.
Your control is cool, right?
Yeah, control is exactly.
Every man. And every man needs an Everest. A mountain that he
Home
can.
lyric. And then 6, just for entertainment.
And every man needs an element.
All right, so I think that every man here, 7.
And every
Sorry.
man. And every man needs an Everest.
Okay. So that one. And then this.
Wait, what was the very last one?
This
Sorry,
one.
What was the very last one that was like before that you played that was where it's
It's
like a
not-
little soft?
Oh, 6.
And every man needs an element.
I don't
like
know
that?
if it works, but I like
Oh, let's
parallel
try it.
to the like coming after that break. I
Yeah.
liked like the kind of like
Every man.
What you
feeling
like-
of like
Okay, let's try it.
I don't know, like it closing back up and getting back in the coming back close.
How would you consider this?
Maybe I don't know if it's
Oh yeah, let me show you something.
And every
So this is what you just heard.
man. And every man needs an element.
That's bananas. And then what if
And every man.
this may not work, but I like the vibe of the
I know what you're talking about.
So
I know where you're going. I like it.
okay, good.
I was thinking the same.
Let's
Trying to
see.
mitigate like how yeah.
And every man needs an element.
I can do better. 1 second. I've been lobbying with the team to be able to get one shot zoom key command stolen from Pro Tools.
Which one's
I haven't
that?
succeeded. The command 1, so I can just like command 1 and then select the region and zoom it.
Mhm.
But I haven't gotten any success yet. But I am extremely stubborn.
Are you not using the E key?
Nah, different vibe. E key does this,
Yeah.
right? And that's cool. But what I'm talking about is like, oh, I'd like to see this command 1 and paint on it, and then it just will. Because right now I have to position myself where I want to be and then zoom this way.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
See, because I've been using the E key how you use command 1 but instead of hitting the key and then drawing, then hitting E and then doing what I want to do. So you just kind of just swap the order of what you typically were doing.
Right. That's kind of the Hebrew way of doing it, from right to left.
Exactly.
But okay, I shall try and like it. How's that?
And every man.
Whoops, that sucks. Okay, so now if we want the intimate man, then we have to keep the the way it is.
And every man needs an element.
I'm cool with that.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like deal breaker. It just
There's a lot of room on the word and I think that
there's one
Every
time also.
man.
there's another time.
There's one time in there where I kind of scooped up to it,
Mhm.
And that had a little personality too, and it may just have the energy like a little more.
Let's
Maybe
find it.
going down isn't like the.
Let's try it.
And every man.
That's 5.
I think it was
Oh,
like
no.
Badass or Badass Also is the one that had a real scoop in.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Let's listen to Take 1 just for entertainment.
Every man needs an element.
Okay, so we listen to 4, 5. 6 is the one.
And every man needs.
It's really fragile. I like 7.
And every man needs.
That's fragile. Is nice.
Yeah.
And every man needs.
Oh wait,
And every
I may be
man.
able to paste that on top of the quiet one. 9, Badass.
Every man needs an element.
Badass also.
This one.
Every man needs an element. Every man.
Let's see
Yeah,
if I. Yes.
Yeah, that was my other thought was like depending on how you finesse sauce the break,
Let's
It
see if I
could
have
be
the.
it could be a cohesive
Let's see.
kind of cool thing.
Every man needs an element.
It's finishable.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm told I have to select and hit E. Hi. Yeah.
See? You're getting it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I love that E key.
Every man.
I may have to change the pocket a little, Louis.
Every man needs.
Ah! I meant to do that. Let's see.
Every man.
Okay, so, and then use the famous thing.
Mhm.
Every man. Every man needs an
And
element.
then to blend, I'm going to take this down. So on E.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Let's not look at the screen.
And that's the curse of every man. Every man needs an element.
That's going to be good if I didn't nuke it so much.
Every man.
Ah,
Every man needs an element. Every man needs an element.
it's a.
Every man
Okay.
needs an element.
Once there's an actual space on you, then we will not hear the difference in space. Thus,
Right.
it's acceptable.
What do you think, producer
I like-
man, creatively? If it's
I-
not sticking with you, like follow your
My
follow your gut.
my actual official title is reducer.
That's
the
right.
reducer,
That's
not
right.
the producer.
That's right.
I am your reducer. Hold on one second.
Every man needs an element.
I can make that work. It's just gonna because you.
I wonder about needs.
Well, I have needs too. Hold on.
That's
Every man needs an element.
So there was another one better.
yeah, I feel like if we got
Every
needs,
man
it could be,
needs an element.
you could if we
Every
took that
man
needs even.
needs an
Check
element.
this out.
Every man needs an
That's
element.
not the one.
What was that word, Lou?
Every man. Every man
Right.
needs an element.
There it is.
And needs an element. And needs an
I like the
element.
needs here.
And needs an Everest. And needs an element.
It's Everest, right? The right lyric, Dr.
No,
Knox.
no
It's element?
element.
Element.
It's
Oh,
element because it's a part of a phrase. It's like an element of fear that
okay.
he may lose control.
There you go. And the winner is this.
Every man needs an Everest.
Wrong lyrics.
Needs an Everest. Needs an element. Needs an element.
Copy, paste.
Every man needs an element.
Yeah.
An element.
That's cool.
Okay. Will, your dub. I hear you 17 times in a row. It's cool though. Thank you.
No, what you were about to say
Every
something? Will?
man needs an element.
That's a no. And then there was this crazy thing. I think it was here.
A fear that he may lose control.
That is just not negotiable. We have to have this on the record. If you want something else, find a different reducer.
Hey, quick Luna question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is like Control Shift arrow key up and down still do clip? Does that do clip gain in Luna or?
No, not yet. There's not a shortcut for adjusting clip gain yet. But
Gotcha.
hit the feedback button. Let us know that you want it.
I will.
We listen to
Where's
your
that
feedback.
So let's see. So this is where we are for that verse 3.
Every man needs an element. A fear that he may lose control.
Woo! And then we had left it here.
Keep the heart sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
I copy your little Michael Jackson moment there.
What did I? Let me hear it.
And then badass also.
To keep the heart sacred.
Oh.
Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
Okay, the heart. That's nice. This was called badass also. This is badass.
To keep the heart sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
That's nice too. It's nice.
To keep
Well,
the heart sacred.
Yes, Will.
Wasn't it? Didn't we decide to change that lyric to cages?
Yeah, but I don't think it happened.
Oh, really? Oh
Yeah.
no! Oh, right, Matrix. You wanted to change the word Matrix.
To cages.
I see. I knew there were changes. Remember, I said like when we were doing it, I was like, I think Will should be here because there's like some lyric changes that I feel funny about that maybe didn't happen here.
Well,
Yeah. Dang
how's your
it.
voice?
Hey,
You
you like throat coat tea?
Well, let's make a note of that, and see if we. I personally think Matrix. It's my fault because I felt that Matrix was a little bit of a hard word, and also it changes the color. It's so tagged to technology and to that movie and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, not sure about Matrix. And then I forgot during the vocal session.
It's amazing how these things grow on you, though, when you have to think about going back into the studio.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're like, actually, it's pretty good, right?
Matrix,
Yeah, Matrix, great, man. Yeah, it's
What?
you know what?
I was like, wait, what's the studio rate? Like 400 an hour? Suddenly this line sounds way better to me now. I think it's
Yeah. I really like it. I think it has a certain it kind of ties the song to the movie, which is great.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
You know?
Could be a brand deal in there, guys. It's basically reverse product placement.
So let's good point. Let's see if we can, let's finish the comp and see if we can match the vocal sound. Then you could send us another verse.
Yeah.
To keep the heart sacred.
So I think it was badass also.
To keep the heart sacred.
Woo! That's the badass also version. This is the badass version.
To keep the heart sacred.
I think badass also is better.
To keep the heart sacred. Escape the matrix.
Just that part. The other options are this.
To keep the heart sacred.
And this.
To keep the heart sacred.
I think this one's better.
To keep the heart.
Sorry, this one.
To keep the heart sacred.
nice and beautiful. Okay, cool. So yeah, people, this is the amount of pain we go through. Are they still with us? Are they gone? Is
No,
anybody drop off?
They're still loving. They're like it looks like we all took the red pill for.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable. Escape the
I like the
matrix.
escape on this a lot.
Which one is that?
Escape.
That's called Badass.
Escape the matrix.
And this is Badass also.
Escape the matrix.
You go a little sharp on this one. And then that's the last take.
Escape the matrix. He
I
must
like
be.
Matrix here. And then 7, no, is nice.
Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
So I propose.
Escape the matrix.
Sorry. Yeah,
Escape.
that's this one.
Escape the matrix. He must
Escape from here. It would sound like this. And then the Matrix from here.
escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
And let's just do this whole end. And then I think there's a vulnerable that there may be a vulnerable that has a little more vibe. Check this out.
To keep the heart sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
That sounds great, right? So
I don't
let's
know
see.
about the escape. I feel like
Okay.
there's other ones where like the word escape, like the P comes through a little more, where you feel that.
All right. So
That's
these
the
are
word?
these are options. Take one.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
That was take 1. Take 5.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
Take 6 is the same as 5. Take 7. Take is nice.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
9. No. Badass.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
That's the one I picked. Badass also.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
This one I would probably have to tune. And then the last take.
Sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
How do you feel?
I don't know. It may not be as big of a deal as it felt like a moment ago.
Okay, so let me give you context.
The one that you said you might have to tune actually didn't sound all that bad to me.
Okay. This guy. Where am I? Here.
Escape.
No, that's not the one. This is the one.
Escape the
He goes,
matrix.
"Hey."
Escape
Right, yeah.
the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
You want to try that one?
Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
Let's hear the one you had. You had 7.
Yeah. I forget which one it is, but
Yeah.
I had,
just
I
go
had
to the top.
this.
Keep the heart sacred. Escape the matrix. He must be vulnerable.
Probably fine. Yeah, that's probably
think.
fine.
Okay, cool. All right. Second chorus. Da-da-da.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Let's go. This is this section, okay? So this was the last take. Badass also.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand.
Oh.
Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
That is wonderful. Badass.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
I like the one before better myself. Feel free to jump in. It's nice.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
That is dope. How do you feel about that? This one, yeah. That is really wonderful. Just for entertainment? Yeah, no, that's the one. Okay. So this is cool. Nice. And then the pickup thing, I think this was cool.
I think the,
Yes?
go ahead.
No? A little stronger. Strong like a bull. Hold on. Try this.
He must be vulnerable. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Cool. So now we have that C chord thing. So there's you had several visions on that. Turn around into the bridge. This is from the last take.
That's the curse of every man. Even though we say
Okay, that's one vision.
Would you mind like listening to like how that ties into that, just the very first sentence of that bridge while we're listening to
Sure,
these?
absolutely. So this is, do you want it in context of the comp we just did? We could do that. Check it out. It would be like this. Let's be generous.
Sometimes it's helpful, right, to kind of temporarily comp something to hear the context
Absolutely.
around it.
Context is key.
Yeah.
So it would sound like this.
to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity.
Okay. So there's that. Another version was a little drier, like this.
To understand, that's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best.
So basically no link, you know,
Right.
just pure. Another version.
To understand, that's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the.
I have a soft spot for this one. And then there's is nice.
To understand, that's the curse of every man. Even though we
So
say
basically we have two options. Either we bridge it, or there's this one too.
to understand, that's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best.
So either we help it or we don't.
I like helping it. I thought
Okay.
it was cool. It gives us options musically to like, either build around or subtract or whatever.
Okay, so it would be the comp we have right now. How do you feel? So Will was not in the session. How does it feel to you, Will? Do you feel like this this riff helps bring the bridge along, or do you feel that it's better if we have just a statement at the end of the chorus and have this little purgatory before the bridge?
You mean that little guitar riff?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
I really like that. I mean, everything Louis plays in that kind of lead guitar role feels super nice because it's quite sparse already. So those little moments for me feel really fresh.
Okay. And so vocally, do you think that this thing, having him expand,
That's the curse of every man. Even though we.
do you think that it helps over something like this?
That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best.
No, I think it's exciting enough actually with that space. I mean, if there weren't other elements where Louis was showing his vocal off, then I would say, cool, nice moment to have a vocal riff in there. But there's plenty of moments where Louis's vocal shines already.
So
you think the track is interesting enough in that little space that you don't lose interest by the time you get to the bridge?
Yeah,
because that was my concern.
And if not, then there's so much space there to put something else in that you do feel really happy about.
I'm thinking, I'm with Will on this, Louis. I'm
with it.
Okay, I think that the restraint, less riffing, because the riffing is coming after the bridge. And I think this is where we bring, the horn section. No, just kidding. We don't have budget for horn section.
I mean, the trombone is down the street.
You play trombone, and my horns are right here. So we could potentially go insane.
I got the mouthpiece right here. The horns down the street.
I think I know where my saxophone is. See that I have an idea for that segment.
Okay, cool. As long that was my only concern. If you guys hear that the ball is rolling into, we're not losing interest going into the bridge, then I don't think so. Super down.
And this is a very important moment there. Because of the process that we're doing things layering wise, right? And this is the part that's really fascinating and why it is fun to make records. What Louis did on this take right here is when he did this.
That's the curse of every man.
He did that because the track behind him made him want to do that, to fill something that maybe it's not the vocals point of doing it. Now, if we were more in a hurry or less reflective or less obsessive compulsive, we may have said, wow, man, this is great because it's great singing. And then let the vocal interpretation drive the song, as opposed to the song drive the vocal interpretation. So for me, that's why I asked Will. Will and I have made a couple records together where we always focus on the song first. Doesn't matter what the dress is. It's about the girl inside the dress. You know what I mean? And a very pretty dress can make a less pretty girl possible. But what we care about is the girl, not the dress. And so it's always good to have several minds think about, am I in love with the way Louis thinks, which is perfectly fine, right? But in the spirit of what we're trying to do here, we are really trying to enhance the song. And Louis is going to shine no later than very soon in about 16 bars. So there's no reason to let's stay focused on the song at that moment, I think.
Yeah.
And then whatever Louis is missing, which is a perfectly valid thing, we have to alleviate with music, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the vocal. I like the fragility of this thing right here for the transition. Like this.
Understand, that's the curse of every man.
So that's one thing, but you did some really cool ones. Let's listen to the others.
That's the curse of every man.
That's cool. I think it falls in the same category as the other one.
I agree.
That's the curse of every man.
Woo!
I like that one.
That's the curse of every man.
Oof, there's a lot of meaning there. That's 5, 6, 7. So the more introspective one.
That's the curse of every man.
Okay, and then there's this.
That's the curse of every man.
That's a little more. And then there's badass also.
That's the curse of every man.
That's nice too. That's a nice way to close it.
That's the curse of every man.
Every man. That part. So what if we did?
That's the curse of every man.
If we get that's the curse from here, let me propose this. See if you like. And then
every man.
This. this, and it would sound like this.
And that's the curse of every man.
All right. I need to hire a professional reducer to make this cut. Right. Hold on 1 second. Let's try this guy.
That's the curse of every man.
Huh?
Understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best.
You down with that?
I'm down with that.
Okay, cool. So bridge wise, we have the latest take of the bridge is already up. Indeed. My feeling exactly. So.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
I mean, pretty good. Let's listen to another version. I thought that was wonderful. I like the vibe of it. Maybe the second half could have a little more energy. Let's see.
Right.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
I like the second half of this a lot.
Yeah.
Badass.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
That feels a little too mushy to me.
I mean, I was gonna say there's a little bit of honesty in that second half that like makes me.
Okay, so let's listen. Let's try and put it in place and see how it works. And
A
there's
little
one
bit.
more.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, there's one more.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
Wow, that's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, knowing me from inside of my head, that last one sounds very much like me.
Like you. Well, maybe we should go with that, considering who's singing.
As a side note.
Okay.
It's not like a, this is the record, but just
Yeah, but check this out. Let's listen to the first part of the comp.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity.
How do you feel about that?
It feels like Pocket is dope. It feels like I'm in a bit of a, my, faux D'Angelo Q-tip pocket, vocal pocket thing.
No, screw those guys.
But I'm less connected a little bit to the actual.
Okay, so let's look at this one that you like throughout.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
I feel like if you took that one, everything up until "So We Go Right Back."
So we go right back.
Another, what I mean? Like that one
have an
feels
idea.
like. I mean, tell me how you got. Will, how do you feel?
I was looking at some backing vocal stuff there. Which part?
Here, hold on. Let me do the comp that I think is going to work.
All right.
So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
Or
I like that.
So we go right back to the source of our
This is the one. Okay, so the bridge would sound a little bit like so.
Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
I like it. I feel like the art goes up, ending up on the stronger note, like
Yeah.
taking us back into it, and it's the beginning is like feels honest, more on, at least to me.
Okay.
More, it feels more honest and less like like, you know, a little less like, you know.
Okay, you got it.
I'm
I'm
cool
with
it in the
either.
pocket.
Okay.
What Will, did you have a feeling?
Yeah, I love that ending. The ending's awesome. It's super nice. I like actually your change of vocal style as well. It's like you go into a slightly different part of your voice.
A little
Feels
meteor.
appropriate for the end. Yeah.
Okay, cool. You know, I just had an idea here.
All but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
Like literally, Bill Withers, use me.
Yeah.
And just do this. And it's not going to be pretty right now, but something.
To the source of our insanity.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So we go right back to the source.
You know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I do, and I like it.
Okay, good.
Nice move. Nice call.
So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
We'll have to finesse this, but literally go full on. Use me. You know, you and James Gatson, which is you, and you.
Our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
For it to work, we need to either plug in another bass note to make it sound very justified.
So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
Or a long guitar chord that lasts longer. Like this. I'm going to leave it like this to remind ourselves that we both like this. And or maybe we'll do
I have an idea of exactly how it can work.
Our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
You know, it would be great if the guitar didn't stop, if the guitar just kept dying for the whole section. It would be awesome, you know. And also I would like to maybe pick a part of the drums.
We want the best, what we need is so much.
We'll pick 1 bar, 2 bars of the drums where the pocket is like that, you know, as opposed to this, because this you were trying something, you were playing to that idea at the time.
We go right back to the source of our insanity.
That's gonna be so good. It's
gonna be dope.
It's not even fair how good it's gonna be. All right, so so let's listen to so we're happy with the bridge. Let's listen to the last chorus.
Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
I mean,
Jesus.
I mean that.
I'm okay with this. I mean, I think it's good enough for jazz. Except maybe this one note here.
Yeah, exactly.
The woo.
Yeah.
So the woo is not invited. Not
I
invited
got
to the
caught
party.
in I took the blue pill on the woo.
Yeah, so let's red pill the hell out of this. And also this, you probably did another one here.
Understand.
That's a little under.
Nah, I like that.
Understand.
You like it? Okay.
Understand.
Come again?
I mean, just like it gives it somewhere to go. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In that weird, like, you know, Nina Simone, like,
Okay.
is this okay,
Uh-huh.
kind of way.
Okay. So I removed the woo. So we have this.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
Would you please, Your Majesty, allow me to listen to just a couple takes of that one phrase? Thank you.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
That's badass also, badass.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
This is nice.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
Pretty. And then 5
Is that I'm yet to understand.
in 1.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
That's not happening.
Is that I'm yet to understand. Is that I'm yet to understand.
So there's the one with the 16th notes.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
Da-da-da-da-da. Or this one.
Is that I'm yet to understand.
I think that this, I don't know, something bothers me in the tone of your voice on the end.
To understand.
Right.
To understand.
All right, you pick either the short one
To understand.
or the long one.
To understand.
What do you think?
Long.
Okay. Cool. We have now a full vocal.
Heyo.
Bananas.
Ew.
So at this point, usually we go back to the top and we listen to it in the context of things. Does everybody have the patience for us to do that? You know what? We're going to do it in real time. William, how's your voice? Would you like some throat coat tea?
I just had some Earl Grey. I think I'll be all right.
Oh, great. You said you were looking at some background vocal ideas. Where were you looking at?
Yeah, I highlighted a few notes. I mean, it's mainly in the chorus where we had some stuff in the demo anyway.
Okay.
But then a few things started popping out in the verses, like maybe not verse 1. Maybe you want to keep that just like fairly open, but maybe towards the end of verse 1.5, just before the first chorus, to keep the head humble, hands in trouble. Just push that out, and then you can go straight into like an ooh section in the chorus. I thought.
Ooh la la.
Is what if we listen to I print the whole song in real time so that we can listen to it while I print it.
Yeah.
And then I send it to you, and then you record your ideas while we watch.
Perfect. Sounds
Okay.
good.
You know, I would really enjoy if you could double or at least double these parts, these 3 things, do 2 for me, just, you know.
Happiness has left her footprints in the sand.
Yeah. So I can have a little more. If we could, part of your thing, you could double that twice. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And then maybe next week, Louis, you could do harmony on this.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So why don't we just do what we just said?
Yeah,
It's
let's
nice
listen to
when
it.
people do what they say. So I'm going to select the whole thing, and I'm going to export, mix down, main, everything. We're going to do it real time so we can all hear it. 3248. Every man Louis. Today is not the 14th.
It's the 28th.
Today is the 28th. So let's do that. Cool. 28. And also let's save it in the spot that makes sense. Sorry, Zoom's in the way. Cool. There you go.
And then make sure you check the real time box.
Yes.
And you probably want to do 24-bit rather than 32 float.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just, you never know.
Yeah. Okay. So the contrast is so high on my screen that I don't see the check boxes. I may need to change that. All right.
I need to adjust your screen.
Yeah. My screen doesn't like Zoom. All right. So here we go.
Every man needs a nemesis, a desert that he cannot cross. To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures. And every man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb. Keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. And that's the curse of every man. Every man needs an element, a fear that he may lose control. To keep the heart sacred, escape the matrix, he must be vulnerable. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering, you serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
All right.
Ooh.
Sounds like a record.
That's what a comping will do, huh?
It'll make a song.
Mm-hmm.
Louis, with all the love I have for you, I think you're wrong about the length of that one note on the chorus, but I will sleep on it every night this week. So
No,
let's
dude.
see.
Like I said, like we're it's all about the objective.
My nose
You know
is
what
in
I
it
mean?
right now, so there's no way I have any kind of rational perspective. Why is my Dropbox off? So I'm going to send this to Will now, so that Will can do his thing. Dropbox crashed. Great. So that's awesome. I love you, Dropbox. So Will, should I just we transfer this to you?
Yeah, or just into WhatsApp, whatever's easier.
Oh, I can drop a wave in. I don't use WhatsApp much. Can I drop the wave in WhatsApp?
I think so. Yeah.
Let's try it. This is real time, people.
Well, I really do love seeing though, like how this comp, you go for, performance, for detail, for emotion, and not being afraid to like get phrase by phrase, or like get in there to the level of detail that it needs. But at the same time, like when you get to certain parts where you're just like, this feels good together, then you honor that as well. Well,
yeah,
it is a good like combination of.
It's really hard. That's why it's teamwork. Like Lewis and I don't have the same view on everything on this comp, obviously, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that it works as a whole. There's not just one version that works. Any version can work.
Totally.
That's why you have to be very careful to choose who you work with. So because everybody that's in the room will push your song in a certain direction. So you have to be careful. You really have to assemble your cast, your team, just like a soccer team or whatever. You have to assemble the cast of characters that's pushing you in the direction you want to be in.
Yeah.
So people, if I just did a Gregory Porter single, and I knew that I wanted to work with Louis because I know where Louis comes from, and I know that would be a great compliment to my ideas, and he would have a lot of ideas that I would never have. So that's the person I called right away for that.
Yeah.
So you choose your cast of characters to enhance your plot. You know what I mean? And so when in this case, well, this is kind of like a demonstration, but Louis and I are working on his record. We had a meeting a few months ago. He played me some songs, and I said, this is what I think, this is what I think, this is what I would do. And then based on that, Louis had the process of thinking, okay, is this something that is that point of view helpful to me to get to where I want to be?
Yeah.
And then he called me and said, like, can we work together on some of my songs? To which I said, hell, never.
I think your exact words were, let me check my schedule. I'll get back. Don't call me. I'll call you.
Yeah.
I'll have my do you have a manager?
Yeah.
So we're working, this is taking a lot of our time. So we haven't been able to work on Louis's, but we're working on a 3-song concept with Louis.
Nice.
And Louis has the choice of working with lots and lots of people. So for those 3 songs, he decided to work with me because I bring something that he sees of value for that particular project. Which is why when I work with somebody, I make a record with them, and it goes super well. And then the next record, they call somebody else. I don't get upset. I just think, oh, they're looking for something else,
That's why you can never take that personally, right? It's never like a
exactly.
It's not a like, hey, you're bad at your job, I'm never calling you again. It's just it's beyond that.
It is a perspective. It's like, are they looking to get to the same result or not? You know, and then in real life, there's also like usually if you make a record and then everybody finds themselves at the Grammys the year after, they tend to call you back. But that doesn't mean that it's a good idea, because say they call you back, but they want to do something different. Depending on where you are, you may be able to offer that difference or not. And so it complicates things quite a bit. The business complicates the art always.
Of course.
So that's why I personally I say no a lot. I just like, can I recommend somebody? And not because I know that it's just not going to work out. Like I know that it's going to be a long, painful process, and I'm not the right person for it. So I say no quite a bit. But I said yes to Louis.
And we said yes
Um,
to
Happy,
Will.
George. That made me
times.
very happy.
It's gonna be awesome. I can't, you guys. And this song, when we did this, and Erica said, could you do something like that? And I said, yes, absolutely. And because we did the NAM with Louis, it was clearly a first choice.
Yep.
The first thing I told Louis, I said, let's not let this, which has a different context altogether, taint what we're trying to do with his 3 songs. And then the more we do this, the more we like it. I don't know where it's going to sit. It may be song number 4. We don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a pretty crazy life. Apparently there was some health issues. I heard there was something going on.
Some sort of outbreak.
There's a break. I
Not
can
for
take
you,
a
Fab.
break.
Not for you, Fab. No.
I can take a break outside. Is that what an outbreak is?
Absolutely not.
So I just got a private message from Will Knox that says he's got it.
Yeah.
You
It's
got
good
it?
to go. Yeah, everything's working.
So because I'm so focused on making the music, Ben, can you? Oh, I have to unmute the listen to client for Will.
Yep.
That's all, right?
That's
I don't
all
have to do anything else.
You shouldn't. So yeah, Will, can you share your screen so we can see what you're rocking?
Oh, I have to unshare. I have to stop sharing mine, right?
No,
oh
I
no, you
already did
unsharing. I'm always a step behind.
That's what I'm here for.
So, share Luna. Do you get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
All right.
There you go.
So now we're in the Netherlands, from New York to Harlem, the original Harlem.
Welcome everyone.
All right. Okay, so just
You hear me
so
here?
that's
There
a
we go. You hear me here?
Oh,
There
yeah.
we go.
There
we
go.
do. So let me see your settings. Okay, maybe a little less gain, yeah. So that basically what happened, guys, is for those of you still watching, I WhatsApped my WAV file, which apparently that works, to Will, who's in the Netherlands, and Will open on his machine. So we're no longer looking at my machine. We're looking at Will's machine in Harlem, Netherlands. And Will, can you press space to make sure we can hear the track? Yep.
Nice.
This is complete science fiction. Everybody's aware of that, right?
We just changed continents and we're still same song in Luna, but now on a different planet. I mean, different continent.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. And the reason why I didn't just send the Luna file to Will is so that it's fast. But I could just drop the Luna file. But although this Luna file right now is, let's see, Tales from the Switch, 1.6 gigs, 1.16 gigs. So that would take in a smidgen longer to send over to the Netherlands. And so, all right. And then can I hear your vocal a smidgen, Will, to make sure that we're in the vibe?
Yeah, here we are. Check
Yeah.
1, 2.
Okay, that sounds good. Why don't you do a pass of what you had in mind, and then we will listen with rapt attention.
Cool. I'm going to unplug my headphone that can hear you because otherwise I've got a delay.
Yeah.
So I can't hear what you say until I come back in.
Now we can talk
So
bad
I'm going
about
to go to
it.
the
Never know.
chorus. Yeah, I think I'm going to start on the chorus.
Every man needs an Everest. Happiness has left her footprints in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Okay. All right. So can you do? I think
He can't hear you. He can't hear
Oh,
you.
you put it back in.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
You put it-
I got you back.
Okay. He's a professional. I think that the last. I like the melody. I think it's great. I think that the tag. That's the curse of every man. I think Louis should be alone. It
Perfect.
kind of like.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you do that? Like, were you gonna harmonize that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So do your thing. And then that's something we can copy paste to every chorus.
What's that?
That's something that we'll be able
paste to every
chorus. We're gonna copy paste this. So just do one chorus right, and then we'll just fly it.
Okay, cool.
Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Can you do it again?
I like to double
can you play
these oohs.
Okay.
Happiness has left a footprint in.
That one's a bit loud. You know what? I'm just going to duplicate this one. That way I know I've got the right settings.
I see Will has been using
Can't be
Luna quite a bit.
comfortable. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
I went a little bit faint on that second one, so I'm just going to do that again.
Can't be comfortable. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Okay, let's duplicate that one. Let's get the settings. I'm going to delete these two.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's try that.
Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Double.
To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
Nice.
My friend, could you redo the BV1? Could you redo just the first one to do?
This
It's
one?
a little. The second note's a little flat. Yeah.
Cool.
Happiness has left a footprint in the sand.
Great. Can you pan him?
Good.
Just so we get the vibe.
Yeah. How do you like to pan? This is a question because I kind of like to pan not too hard to the.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, the harder you pan it, the more obvious it is. So it depends on what you want to do. But this would be a nice way to open up the chorus a little.
Okay.
So let's see that.
Yeah.
Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering will serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
That's great. That's awesome. So
Nice.
yeah, this is great, and it probably is not going to survive in this form, in my opinion. I think this is going to allow us to create a more modern vibe, but maybe put some weird effect, vocoder, maybe a phaser or something on it. But I love the part, or maybe it'll be doubled with some shaped instrument or something, or like a Stevie talking book era Moog doing the top line or something like that. So that's great. Did you have another thing in mind for the chorus, William?
No, not for the chorus. I had some little verse ideas, but chorus-wise, I think this could be cool.
That's awesome. So why don't you make new tracks so that we don't lose the playlisting of this?
Yeah, Fab, are you still transmitting? I think the echo that Will's hearing is your audio movers are still connected.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Look at all this stuff that's running. Stop. All right, I no longer are transmitting.
There you go. So Will, you might not get a bad echo anymore.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's working.
There we go.
All right. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna try two things in the verse.
Oh, wait. Now I can't hear.
Oh,
I need to unmute.
Well, he's coming. No, he's
Fab.
coming on your ready. He's coming on your right ear too, Louis. He's currently hard panned right.
There we go. I'm back in the middle now. There we go.
Are you getting him now, Louis?
Yeah. So I'll mute myself here because I just took the ear thing out so I can hear.
Nice.
The wonders of technology.
The first thing I heard, I think it's going to be too much. It was on "Every man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb." But I thought that might be maybe a little much. So I thought probably the best place to start would be on "Head
Should
Humble."
I be hearing anything?
Yes. So, Louis,
if you're
This is what
not,
I'm thinking. I should unmute the two.
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Unmute the other one. Yep.
yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on, Will.
Yeah, sure.
Next time we make a record, we'll try and be in the same room.
I miss those days.
Yes.
There you go. Now you should hear Will, right?
Great.
Yes.
You
All
hear
right.
me?
Rocket.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna try from the second.
To keep the soul in wonder, the belly must have hunger. He needs the vultures.
All good here.
Man needs an Everest, a mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable.
So I'm not
Okay.
sure if climb is too much there, but
Your Highness,
yes.
William, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
I think that it's cool, but then you would have to do the mountain that you cannot climb, the whole phrase. If it's just climb, it's a little much. It's not really justified to me.
Yeah, and I think then as well you kind of lose the impact of something coming in on the later part of it too.
Yeah, so just lose that.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Can you double it?
probably
Yeah.
double.
Yes, please.
A mountain that he cannot climb. To keep the head humble, the hands from trouble. You can't be comfortable.
Cool.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
Love that airiness. It's gonna add the very cool
Yeah.
texture to it.
Can you plan them too, so that when we hear them in the context. That's cool.
Yeah,
It
of
doesn't have
course.
to be exactly. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. And then, so second chorus, can you just copy paste that stuff?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Now where is that?
You don't have the markers.
Matrix, he must be vulnerable. Happiness,
So close.
So close.
keep the high. Happiness has left a footprint in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we want the best, what we need is so much less. 'Cause the best just ain't enough for our humanity. And every time we reach the top, our motivations all but stop. So we go right back to the source of our insanity.
Question before the bridge. What
Yeah.
happens if you copy the oohs again
Mhm.
and in the right? Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what that does.
Well, right in the same timing. Just
Right,
start
like as a cycle. Yeah,
okay.
maybe that's how.
Things that I'm yet to understand.
No,
So a bit earlier.
The
right?
note
No.
note won't work.
it won't work. Too bad.
Because the
Maybe we could maybe we could purpose
we
build
could-
some there.
Yeah, sure.
Because check it
Another
out.
U section.
Go ahead.
Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though
Something.
we
Make it go. I think he would
Okay.
make our link very well. There,
Pressing
if we
it.
could keep that. Okay, go for it.
It's-
feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
It's that second note that.
Yeah.
you can, you know
quite
what you
working.
could do. You know the top line. What you. And the bottom you
Yes.
can do.
Yeah. So
Okay.
start with the top so that because the bottom is going to
So-
be low.
So
Start with the
first
top
two,
one.
yeah,
All right.
so the top one you can do the same. It'll work.
So it's called BB copy 2. You should record it on the right track. Yeah. You know?
Okay. Wait, but hang on. That's the low one.
Is it?
The high one.
No, that's the high one.
Yep, high one. Yep.
Someone's paying attention.
Okay.
All right. Awesome.
It all looks the same. Okay.
You didn't color.
Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we
Yes, exactly.
Ma-
One more
Try
time.
it one more time. Yeah, with a bit of confidence.
feels that I'm yet to understand.
Bit less confidence.
Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we
Cool.
Right. Let's try double.
feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
A little less.
You
That's the
anticipated
curse.
the top one. Check it out before you double it. Check out what you did.
That's the curse of every man. Even
You know what I mean? How about you copy
that's
the
the curse.
How about you copy the number 3 there to number 4? That way, one track above.
The
Yeah,
Oh,
number
right,
3.
right.
Yeah, to number 4. Voilà.
Gotcha. Hang on. Separate. I
That-
know this. I know this.
You can just hit
Command
Command
E.
D. Just Command D.
Command.
With what you have selected, it'll automatically separate and duplicate.
Command D.
Mm-hmm.
Or command. Okay. And then put that one down here.
No,
Is that
put
what
it
you,
that way. We're gonna have just twice the same. Putting up one to this track.
Mhm.
Voilà. And now double that.
this one here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay,
and now
right.
double re-sing the bottom part.
Okay.
Understand. That's the curse of every understand.
Whoops.
That's the curse of every man.
Later.
That's the curse of every man. Even though we
Not quite right.
Yeah, if
that's
you
the
copy
curse of every
This fourth
the
one.
4th one to the 3rd, it's all good.
Okay.
Awesome. And now you can do the bottom part. Louis,
Okay.
I think you hear what I hear, right? Now we have a sauce that we're going to be able to build upon. This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
All right. So where were
Louis,
the
you
notes
had
for the
a-
bottom part?
Yeah, Louis.
So you
had a
could
nice
do,
part, right? Okay, cool.
to understand. Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we feels that I'm
The first one wasn't quite right.
feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of man. That's the curse of every man. Even though we
Something like that.
That's great. Yeah, I really dig what this is doing. I have so many ideas that we're gonna do with this stuff. It's
Yeah, man.
nice. All right, cool, man. This is great. Could you use those tracks to double? Yes, Your Majesty.
Would it be overkill to put the bottom on it just for these ones?
Define.
Like a ooh, 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 ooh.
Go for it. For the end, for the 8.
Just those last 4.
Those 4 at the end. Okay.
Sure.
Only the.
serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand.
One more time.
Purpose that I'm yet to understand. Purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we
I feel like I'm not.
Cool,
quite
the first one is a
getting
little
the time
off.
on the last 3 and 4. Yeah.
Yeah, and the pitch was a tiny bit under on the first take.
Okay. The first take of this track.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's just do it again and hear yourself
I'm
better.
yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say we
Okay.
Okay.
So may I copy number 2 to number 1? Oh. And
What am I
number
doing
3
there?
to
I'm
number
doing-
4.
So when
This
you
is
do,
great.
Doing
yeah,
Apple-
when you do the Command D, it'll automatically duplicate it. So that's kind of the shortcut to like quickly move like 2 to 3. But when you want to move 2 back to 1, you would just do B
Command
as in
E.
boy or Command E, yeah, and then move it back.
Command E and then
Yeah.
backwards. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then
So-
copy 3 to 4. And then you get a good canvas. Bananas, and then the other side.
Okay. Here we go.
Feels that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Even though we say
School Park,
Okay.
great idea, Louis.
Nice.
That's great. And so I was gonna say before this brilliant idea came in that I think that unless the two of you are gonna veto me, I think that Louis should be alone on the bridge. I think that it changes the spirit of the song, and I'd like to just be connected to Louis for that, so that when the background vocals come back in on the chorus, the one that we're about to do, then it really does the job it's supposed to do, as opposed to be more of the same. That's my feeling. But if you guys are bent on having background vocals on the bridge, then I'll shut up and listen.
I think that's a valid idea. I think it's nice to create some space to get that lift at the end again. So great.
Okay. So could you
Agreed.
double? So I will do the copy paste of this stuff. Could you double the choir, Louis's choir, on the second? Okay.
curse of every man. Happiness is like the footprints in the sand. Suffering is a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's
Okay, let's try that one.
footprints in the sand. Suffering that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness is not the footprints in the sand. That I'm yet
Oh, that's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
Happiness
Hang on.
That's the
I got you guys on delay. One sec.
Oh shit! Is it my fault?
happiness is not the footprints in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
This is so good. All right. Yes.
That's the curse of every man. Happiness is not the footprints in the sand.
Nope.
That's the curse of every man. Happiness is not the footprints in the sand.
Footprints in the sand.
That's the curse of every man. Happiness is not the footprints in the sand. That's the curse of every man. Happiness is not the footprints in the sand. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse. Suffering serve a purpose that I'm yet to understand. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man. That's the curse of every man.
That is so good. So great. Now, could you do an octave lower? Happiness, da 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 da. For the first two phrases.
Happiness has left her footprints in the. Kind of.
No.
Happiness has left her footprints in the.
No.
You almost got it.
I can do that next week.
Okay, you do it. All right, so Louis will do it. I love this so much.
Yeah,
This is-
dude. It's the
The texture of this is
right.
yes, it just changes everything. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Great.
Great. Okay. Oh, it's 3:30, people. Are people still with us, or are we
They
just
are.
playing with ourselves? Oh, it's amazing.
It's people are still watching. We did have a question for you, Will. Is that a 414 or a 214 from AKG?
That's a
It's a
414.
414.
Yep. Nice.
And it's actually
Yeah.
pretty new, but it doesn't look it. It's.
I was like, how'd you get to look not so new?
Yeah, just leave it on your desk for a few sessions, and the
Yeah.
paint will chip away pretty quickly.
All right, cool. I think that this is brilliant. I'm very, very happy with where it's at right now. I think that we should reconvene next week.
Yeah.
And so we have two more of these sessions, I think, unless we come up with some genius moves. So next week we will comp this. Then we will have Louis record more background vocals
Mm-hmm.
on this, and then I have a tambourine idea. Louis, just have your tambourine ready.
I also have a bongo idea. I have my bongos ready too.
We have a bongo idea. Boom, boom.
Make sure you have a cowbell on Overwatch too.
Yes,
You never know.
and then
Bro, always have
Always.
a cowbell on. Like, ah.
He's always ready.
and then maybe a couple synth ideas, and then after that we will announce the date where we'll do and we'll do some keys, and then after that we'll announce the date where this whole thing is going to get mixed, which will be a longer episode of just one big kind of like
One big
season
mix
finale.
session. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And then we'll have a song, and then we will post this to Spotify for the world to listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to publish this. So that's it. That's the deal. I'm super, super happy with this.
Yeah, guys, this was so cool to get to see the, I know to some it may feel like paint drying, but to a lot of people, they've never really gotten to see what a comping session looks like on a professional level, on this level where, the things that matter really do matter in terms of performance and delivery, and getting to see how you take, what is that, like 18 incredible performances and then actually comp it together to feel cohesive and something that really supports and pushes the song forward. It's just super cool to be able to actually see that all happen in real time. And I know it's very exposing for everybody involved here to like have to listen to line after line, see thing after bit after bit, and see how it all ends up coming together to make a beautiful pie. Guys, it's such a cool insight into the process here that normally people don't get to see.
Great, awesome. Well, I'm glad it was of value. Next week, we're gonna see you next week for new exciting adventures in Tales from the Switch.
Awesome. See you guys next week.
Ciao.
Peace.